Came home from deployment, found my wife with another man. What I did next shocked everyone. The plane touched down, tires screeching against the tarmac. My chest tightened, not from fatigue, not from the last 6 months in the desert, but from the thought of seeing her. Home. My wife. I had imagined this moment countless times, the smile, the warmth, the welcome home hug. But none of those fantasies included the man in our living room when I walked through the front door. He was leaning against the kitchen counter, drink in hand, smirking as though he belonged. And she froze, just for a second, before her lips curved into a rehearsed grin. My heart stopped. I said nothing, not a word. My boots clicked against the tile, each step measured, deliberate. He finally noticed me. "Hey," he started, too casual, too certain. I didn't respond. Her eyes darted between us. Shame? Fear? Desire? I couldn't tell. All I knew was that betrayal doesn't announce itself politely. It waits, quiet, deadly. I walked past them, hung my jacket, and stood silently by the window, letting the late afternoon sun cut across my face. Calm, detached. But inside, a storm raged, strategic, controlled, and precise. This wasn't about anger, not yet. This was about knowing, understanding, planning. Because when I was done, everyone would understand exactly what happens when you betray a man who's trained to survive, to fight, to think 3 steps ahead. I remembered every message I had ignored, every late-night call I had dismissed as work. My trust had been absolute, because I had to be sure. A soldier's wife is more than just a partner. She is the anchor to sanity when the world becomes chaos. But the cracks had been there. Subtle at first. A phone left screen down. A hurried exit for shopping. A laugh that didn't reach her eyes. I hadn't wanted to see. I hadn't wanted to know. And now, here he was, lounging in my kitchen as if he owned it. And she was smiling. Not nervously, not apologetically, but almost indulgently. I tried to breathe. Tried to remind myself that every action now had to be precise. One wrong move, and it wasn't just my pride at stake. It was my life, my family, my control. I noticed the wine glass in his hand, the scent of expensive cologne. She had put effort into this. Planning, enjoying. That stung. I replayed their gestures in my mind, the brush of her hand against his, the tilt of her head when she laughed at his jokes, the warmth in her eyes when they lingered on him. I realized it wasn't just physical. This was emotional, deep, deceptive, a complete betrayal of trust. And that realization brought calm. A clarity I had learned in harsh terrains, in firefights, in moments where split-second decisions meant survival. I had to know. Not just that it happened, but how deep it went. And then, carefully, I would decide how the scales would tip back. I didn't confront, not yet. Soldiers know patience is a weapon, observation another, silence the deadliest of all. I started small, notes left on the counter, questions in casual conversation. Every answer measured, every lie detectable. I tracked her phone movements, her late-night outings, emails she didn't think I could see. And he, the interloper? He came over more often than she admitted, but he never saw me, never suspected. They were careless, naive, confident in their deception. One evening, I followed her, staying a safe distance behind in my truck. She parked at a small cafe. They met there, laughed, held hands, exchanged subtle kisses. I didn't react. I took photos, silently. Documented. Precision over emotion. The more I uncovered, the colder I felt. Not hatred, not fury, but focus, control. Back home, I rehearsed confrontations in my mind. how to expose them without losing myself, how to make sure she understood exactly what she had done. I checked my finances, verified her credit card statements. Subtle signs of gifts, trips, dinners, luxuries I hadn't purchased, all for him. And yet, I waited. Waiting is power. Power is patience. And betrayal, when handled like a battlefield, can be dismantled piece by piece. I knew the time was coming, soon. DNA tests were the final step. I had obtained them discreetly, careful not to alert her. The results came back with the precision of a sniper's shot. Not mine. None of it mine. Every subtle suspicion confirmed. I walked into the living room that evening. They were laughing, too close, too confident. She looked at me. Panic flashed for the briefest instant. I ignored it. I laid the envelope on the table. "Open it," I said, my voice calm, detached. He hesitated. She froze. The truth lay there, cold, unforgiving. Proof that every lie, every kiss, every secret meeting had consequences. His eyes widened as he read. Her hand trembled. She stammered. I didn't allow her words. I didn't need them. I simply smiled, small, controlled, and walked out. The next day, I arranged a small gathering. Friends, family. She thought it was a celebration. I stood, calm, cold, and revealed everything. Photos, documents, the timeline of betrayal. Each piece meticulously prepared. Each lie exposed. She tried to interrupt, tried to explain, tried to cry. But no one listened. I had done the work. The evidence spoke. The man, he tried to justify, to claim ignorance, but the truth was undeniable. And then, quietly, I walked away, leaving them to their shame, their regret, their humiliation. No shouting, no violence, just the quiet devastation of realization. It was psychological, exacting, brutal. I had given them the battlefield, and I had won, without a single shot fired. I sat in my car that evening, the weight of months, of betrayal, of patience finally lifted. No tears, no anger, only clarity. I thought of the battlefield, how sometimes the deadliest weapon is control, how strategy can outperform raw strength. And in that clarity, I realized freedom. Not freedom from them, but freedom from the chains of their deception. I could have destroyed them further, but why? Their shame, their exposure, their ruined lies was enough. I walked away, emotionally detached, victorious, alive. The betrayal could have broken me, but it didn't. It sharpened me. And when she looked at me again, I was gone, a ghost in her memory. The truth is heavier than lies, and revenge, the best kind, is silent, calculated, and complete. Dark romantic undertones.
How could you do this?